Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like there's got to be more than life than the reality that you see every day? Tune in weekly, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as we crack the codes to freedom in every area of your life. Welcome to Code Freedom. I'm your host, Eddie Bales, and this is episode 23. And today we are going to talk about vision. We're going to talk about planning, because it amazes me that we will plan our marriages, we'll plan vacations, we'll plan birthdays, we'll plan all kind of parties and celebrations. We'll plan so many different things in our lives, but we won't take a minute to plan out our life, right? We won't plan out what does the next 5 to 10 years look like? What does the rest of our lives look like? We don't spend that intricate time to actually put a plan in place for what we want it to look like. And so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. And so it's so important that we do that, because otherwise 10 years goes by and like, where did the time go? And you could potentially end up in the same spot that you were always in, because nothing ever changed, because you weren't intentional about planning and preparing and strategizing. And I suggest you write it down on paper. Like, write down what does it look like 5 years from now, right? Visualize about it. What do you actually want? Who do you want to be? What do you want to have? Where do you want to be? Like, at what place do you want to be in life? And we used to do that when we were kids, right? And then somewhere along the line, we started to lose our dreams. We started to lose hope and sight of the future. And we started to just go with the flow every single day. And going with the flow never works, right? Because you end up in the same place you've always been. And so, don't start your day until you finished it. I'll say that again. Don't start your day until you finished it. What do I mean? Well, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So, what I suggest is you plan your day the night before. What is your day going to look like? And then you get real good at that. You get good at accomplishing things. I keep a planner with me. I plan everything for the most part. And I love checking the boxes off throughout the day, because I accomplished this task and I accomplished that task, right? And so for me, I just feel good knowing that I checked some things off that I had planned to do previously, right? Once you start getting good at planning the day, don't start your week until it's finished. Don't start your month until it's finished, right? Don't start the year until it's finished, right? It's almost like you're writing the book, because you are the author of your life, right? You're writing the book, and now you're just going to go live out the chapters, okay? Because otherwise someone else gets to write the book, and you may not like what the book is like. Your boss might write the book for you, right? Your family and the circumstances can end up writing a book, but you get to dictate what's going to happen in your book. But you got to dictate it. You got to plan it, right? And so people say, where did the week go? Where did the month go? Where's time just flew by? And yes, time does fly by. And speaking of that, it amazes me how when we were kids, you guys remember how time was just the slowest thing ever, right? It's like we couldn't wait to get 16 so we can get a car. And then we couldn't wait to be able to do this and do that. And then we just kept getting older and older and older. And then next thing you know, what I've noticed is that you get to a place where time just starts to move too fast, right? Like, wait, hold on. Is it already March, right? Is it already 2021? And so you start looking back at the time, like, where is it going, right? And so you just got to get to a place where you're so intentional about it. It's like when you're younger, you want time to speed up. And then when you're older, you want time to slow down. But if we plan, then it doesn't matter what's happening throughout that time, because we're being so intentional about it that we're getting things done and we're getting where we want to go. We're intentionally creating the life by design instead of living it by default. You'll hear me say that a lot, because it's so true. We want to design our life and not just let it happen to us. And by the way, let me say, life doesn't just happen to us, it happens for us, right? And so when things happen, hey, we just take that licking and keep on ticking, and we just bounce back. So things are going to happen. Your plans are not always going to be perfect. Be flexible with your plan, right? Have some plan B's and C's and D's, and also recalibrate, reflect, look at what didn't work from the last plan, and then let's do a new plan. There are many days where I didn't get a chance to mark off something on my list, and so guess what I'll do? I'll carry it over to the next day because it has to still get done, right? But I don't want it to just not get done because I just never got to it. I want to make sure it's on the top of mind. Okay. So just start planning out what you want your life to look like. By this 2021, what does the end of the year look like? Income wise, family wise, spiritually, you know, um, what do you want to be health wise? Set some goals. I know the other day I was reflecting, I think it was last week, I believe, and I was like, wow, I am about to be 40 years old next year, right? And I had all these things I wanted to accomplish by the age of 40. And so I started writing some plans out like, okay, what am I going to do this year to make that impact so that when 40 comes, I can be a happy person? And I'm going to be happy anyway, because the last episode we talked about that. But what I'm saying is, what am I going to do throughout this year to make sure that when I get to 40, I can smile and say, I got it done, right? I got it all done that I wanted to accomplish, right? And so, when you have these big plans, sometimes we overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can do in a day. So break it up, break that bigger goal into some bite-sized pieces. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So again, what activities are going to lead you to some of those things? I'll be honest, I gained a little bit of COVID weight. So when I turned 40, there's a certain weight in the body type that I want to be at, right? What obstacles may potentially get in your way? Because you sometimes it's good to just plan and prepare for the obstacles ahead of time. Like, hey, wait a minute, I knew you were coming, but I already got a plan for you, right? And so those obstacles, they don't even get you down because you already kind of sidestepped and you had a plan for it, right? And so, hey, who could help you with these plans? Who could you have delegate things that give you more time to do other things, right? Or who can you just have on your team that would just make things a game changer for the goals and the plans that you have? What kind of budget do you need to have to accomplish some of the things you want to do this year, the next 5 years? Start saving and budgeting for it. Maybe you want to travel the world. Okay, where do you want to travel? Where do you want to go? And how much is it going to cost? You want to be debt free? How much debt do you really have? And let's start knocking that out one debt at a time. And so visualize it, right? See it in your mind before you see it. You got to see it before you ever see it. If you don't see it first, it's possible you may not ever see it. So start to look at it in your head. Close your eyes and then open up your other eyes, the eyes that tell you about possibility, right? Oh man, this is so good. And I hope you guys really take takes to heart, because look, it's time for us to really plan and prepare, and it's time for us to accomplish what we're supposed to accomplish. We're here for a reason, and we got to go get it, guys. But we got to plan better. And hey, maybe if you haven't been good at planning, consult with some people who can help you. Hey, reach out to me on social media, however you guys connect with me. Maybe I can help you. I'd be happy to help in any way I can. I love doing stuff like that. So the point that I'm making though is that hey, you may mess up. You may not hit it when you want to hit it. I know I miss a lot of my goals, but the reason why I keep hitting goals is because I keep setting them and I keep going after them and I keep on planning and I keep on planning, doing, and reviewing. You got to plan it, you got to do it, you got to review it and say, okay, this didn't work, but this worked really, really well. And I'm going to shift some of these things. I'm going to get these people to help me. I'm going to do these activities more. I'm going to stop doing that, right? And then I'm just going to really put myself in a position to accomplish it. So this right here, powerful when it comes to codes of freedom, because if we want to be free, we got to plan. And again, if you plan to fail, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. All right. So I hope you guys got some value from this. Definitely look forward to hearing some of you guys' input. And just love the shout outs and all the things that you guys are doing out there. So appreciate you. Hope you guys are continuing to get value. And I love you all. Take care. God bless. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for listening. Definitely feel free to take a screenshot of this episode, tag me in it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you find me on social media. I would love to give you a shout out. Hey, you might even get a prize. Who knows? But excited that you had a chance to take a listen. I hope you got a lot of value. And definitely feel free to give us 5 stars as well as a review. Show us some love, and we appreciate you. God bless you all, and see you all over the top.